Welcome to another episode of The Cold Truth with Snow. Conversations you've been avoiding. Growth requires honesty, and we're done lying to ourselves. I got Ty Hurd back with me,
Yo, what's going on?
and today's topic is who has it harder in modern day dating, women or men? And be honest.
Women or men?
Yeah.
All right. I kind of stay in the middle with
Okay.
that. Simply because it's hard on both sides. I'm gonna play the middleman. Um, and simply, I think it's hard simply because everyone is doing exactly what they're taught to do.
I like that. What you mean by that?
So I grew up around a lot of females, and I would get, well, what I got from their teachings: find somebody with some security,
Mm-hmm.
find somebody who's gonna take care of you, right? And subconsciously, when you're out here looking for somebody with security,
Mm-hmm.
that's what you're gonna get, right? And then you get the security, you want the other things to come behind. Well, that's kind of not what we manifested,
Mm-hmm.
And then the guys, we taught to just shut off all emotions, and women, they are all emotional, and we are not in tune emotionally to kind of engage
Mm-hmm.
and to kind of see where you guys are coming from, because we always defensive. You know what I'm saying? Men are always going to be defensive because that's our nature. We're
But
That's
y'all
just what
gotta
it
be
is.
some of y'all be nasty with it though.
We do,
Why?
because it's an ego thing. Like any man that feels like, oh, I done got rejected, or you don't
Mm-hmm.
want me, it's a test to your ego. And so now it's just like, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Which it
That's
shouldn't be
exactly how
that
y'all
it,
be coming
it
off.
shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. But also too, women gotta kind of let us down a little bit easier too now, because
What you mean by that?
I've seen, guys approach with the money. I've seen the guys approach with the words, the takeout, and it's to the point now where women are unapproachable. You know,
Mm.
I can go to a I can go to a restaurant or something to pick up some food or whatever, and it's just the way the women respond and interact with a man. It's just like, where'd you learn this from? Like, you don't even
Is it
know
real
me.
like hasty and nasty? Or like just
Just like
dismissing?
yeah, very dismissive,
Mm.
very condescending.
Okay, got you. I mean, I can agree with that. I feel like I'm in the middle too.
Right.
Because I'm really not biased. I'm gonna call you out on your shit, but I ain't gonna be biased.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
feel like with men, yes, y'all do have that expectation of being a leader, a
Hmm.
provider. That's really big. That's all we talk about.
Hmm.
So you're forced to dive into that role.
Hmm.
And a lot of times women don't allow you the space to learn.
Right.
And they can chastise you for that. But I also feel like you need to do some learning before you get to dating for real, for real. You
Right.
need to, so
Right.
those expectations for me, I feel like make you guys feel a little bit unappreciated. And
Hmm.
then, of course, we always talk about this 50-50, 100, nothing, 70,
Hmm.
30. The
Hmm.
expectations of like financial stability, I
Hmm.
feel like is really heavy on y'all.
Right.
So I can say that. And as women, like you said, you were taught to see that they wanted security and things of that nature, and you were taught to shut off emotions and
Hmm.
probably provide that.
Hmm.
So I feel like that. But then for women on the other hand too, like you said, y'all dismissive and real nasty. Y'all talk about our weight. As a woman, we have, difficulties in dating too.
Right.
Y'all talk about the weight issues. And I feel like this, and I'm gonna go ahead and put a stamp on
Go
this.
ahead.
I don't care how overweight that woman is, it's a man that still wants some
Hey,
good cushion for the pushing.
listen,
So that's all we be like, anything is possible.
listen. It's a couple on Instagram and TikTok right
Uh-huh.
now, and of course, she's
You
not the
talking about the
best.
two ladies?
No, 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 no. It's
No?
a lady and the dude, her man.
Uh-huh.
And just regular couple, you kind of tell they hood,
Right.
hey
Right.
girl, but she puts on a show. I
Yeah.
mean, she put on a show for her dude. And my homegirl was looking like, she's like, I ain't even got a piece of man. I'm just like, yeah, and they look happy too. It
Like
works for
right, people like what they like,
them.
so I
Right.
feel like women always have the hard expectations of weight. We have our biological clock. We're
Yeah.
always,
Yeah.
listen, even for me, I can get on the internet, I can talk about dating, right?
Hmm.
And all I hear is where's the ring? What comes before the ring? Dating.
Mm-hmm.
So as a woman, we're ridiculed for our weight,
Right.
for if we can carry kids or not, or
Right.
if we are even committed. Some women don't want to be committed. Some women don't want a relationship. Some do. I feel like it's whatever floats your boat. So for me, I'm in the middle, but I
Mm-hmm.
feel like there is this cause and effect.
Mm-hmm.
Like y'all scared of rejection, so
Mm-hmm.
y'all get real nasty, and in
Mm-hmm.
that case,
Mm-hmm.
women become dismissive because
Right.
it's like I don't even have time. Like
Right.
because I don't understand. I feel like dating would be so much easier if it wasn't like the blame game. Like I feel like if I'm saying something and the shoe don't fit it, shut the hell up.
And you know what? That I'm glad you said that because I remember a time where the conversation, who is better at what, men or women? I remember this conversation. It was
What was
about
it? Better at what?
just
Which?
better at anything.
Oh, okay,
And this
okay,
was like, when we were coming out of college. I'm 37 now. So
okay.
like when we were like just getting out of college,
Mm-hmm.
that's when, everybody kind of they had their degrees, they got out, they graduated, and
Mm-hmm.
they're getting started with life. And
Mm-hmm.
those types of conversations started coming out. And I feel like that's where a lot of this tension between men and women came from.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but also too, in my mind, uh, I think we're trying to be something that we're not, right? Us as black people.
Mm-hmm. What do you elaborate on
When we
that?
talk about, you hear the woman say, I don't want to work. My man got to work X, do X, Y, and Z, elemental P. I shouldn't have to do.
Right.
It also ties into the 50-50 thing
Mm-hmm.
because everybody's 50-50 is different.
Yeah, it looks different.
It's
Yeah.
so much different. So you have a lot of white communities, right?
Mm-hmm.
The male is the breadwinner,
Mm-hmm.
whereas the wife, she is what? She's the home.
She's the homemaker.
She's the homemaker.
Yeah.
She holds the fort down.
Right.
But when you look at the structure and the dynamic of their family,
Mm-hmm.
it stays together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. It does. It does.
Look at the structure of the black families where we first started out in the homes. The men were in the home. The women were, they were holding it down. They were raising the children. When the man be at work, he brings the bread back, pay for the bills and all of that. I saw it in my grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandmother, she worked, but she didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
My granddad held it down.
Right.
And so it's one of those things where, okay, we can't be something that we're not. And then when we don't have that, we get upset about
Right.
it. You know what I'm
I can
saying?
get that. I can
And I
get that.
think that's what we're doing. We're on this side of the fence. We're
Mm-hmm.
looking over there, and it's just like, well, why we can't have that? We can,
Mm-hmm.
but there are some critical and necessary steps to take before we get there.
I feel where you coming from, but I also feel like this too. The way we date is different from how our grandparents dated, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot
Mm-hmm.
of us, I saw my mom and my grandmother be in the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, that's why I don't believe in 50-50. But I do believe in I don't believe in that. That's just not me. But I'm okay with that because I'm the type of person, I've established my own.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you can do for me what I can do for myself. And I'm
Yeah.
okay with being
Yeah.
patient on that.
Right.
But I feel like back then they didn't have a choice.
Right.
And I'm gonna
Right.
say that because they didn't have a lot of education. I was on a
Right.
podcast with another guy. He said they didn't have education, but they knew how to hold families longer than you guys. Of course, they didn't have a way out. So I feel like now women are wanting that, and I feel like the pressure is on the man to give her that
Mm-hmm.
what she saw. But
Mm-hmm.
it was $11 back then. Could feed
Mm-hmm.
your whole family. It's
Mm-hmm.
different now. So I agree with you. Everything looks different, and it
Right.
can be a pressure. But
Right.
back then, also, we can say this too. Those women were stuck. Those men were doing X, Y, and Z. You had to understand that he
Yeah.
probably had a woman across town
Yeah.
and you were sitting there raising those kids. So now
Mm-hmm.
women have education, we
Mm-hmm.
have independence,
Mm-hmm.
we're successful.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we're more stern with
Right.
how we like to build our
Right.
households because it's a want
Right.
for a man, not a need.
Right.
Back then,
Right.
I don't care what nobody say.
Right.
It was a need
Right.
for that man.
I still think it's a need on both ends.
You do?
I still think both sides, they want that somebody.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Everybody is for somebody for
Everybody wants
everybody.
somebody.
But do we know how to go about it? You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like the men are on when we go around women now, we on pins, needles, and eggshells because anything that we say, it could throw you off. You know, on the female side, I mean, from the time we walk in to the time we sit down to the time y'all are looking and y'all are going through, y'all checking us off. You checking that checkbook off. I mean, us
But
men,
ain't y'all doing the same thing now?
we are. But a lot of times, us men, we look at what's attracting on the outside, and then we wait till later on
Mhm.
after we done been intimate and did all of this stuff to really kind of figure out who this woman is. And now you find out like she like Cruella de Vil or something. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
And that's why I always tell, like, and that's why I be telling the men in my comments, I'm like, yo, develop your own checklist for a woman to meet your expectations. If and I just had L on here. Like he
Mm-hmm.
said, if I don't believe in 50-50, sis,
Mm-hmm.
but if she believes in 100 nothing, then you're on the bench. I can't have you in the starting lineup.
Right,
I may
right,
still mess with you,
right,
but you ain't gonna ever be my woman.
right, right.
So feel comfortable having those conversations. And as women, of course, like you said, we're looking for certain things, and y'all are
Mm-hmm.
looking for certain things. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
like if people are honest with themselves
Mm-hmm.
and say, this is just what she's looking for. There are a billion
Mm-hmm.
people in the world. What Jasmine Sullivan say? The
Yeah.
world's too big to think so small. You have to get out of that. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you meet a woman and she doesn't believe in what you believe in, vice versa. If you meet a
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
oh well.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
coming off as and I feel like this too is hard for women dating because men box us in one box. And me as a woman, I'm trying to like help women understand not all men are bad.
Mm-hmm.
And men, not all women are the way that you think that they are, but
Mm-hmm.
y'all box us in so much. And this is why I feel like that. Women don't box men in as much until they're tired. And this is why. Think about how many single mothers have multiple kids by multiple men. They kept trying to give another man
Mm-hmm.
another chance
Mm-hmm.
to treat them better
Mm-hmm.
than the last. Versus men, when y'all get it in y'all head that it's the way that it is, if y'all feel like women are this way, then y'all are gonna go by that. Women, they're so like naive a little bit. We give more grace, we give more chances. That's why she ends up in that situation that she didn't learn from.
So I look at that as a trauma issue.
It
So for
is.
her, she's looking for a daddy. She's looking for daddy.
Hold on, wait now, wait.
I understand you made it.
Some women, not all. See how you boxing us in?
Okay, and you're right. You
Because,
caught me.
like I said,
You
you know,
caught
I
me.
done
You
sat in that
caught me.
therapist
You
seat now
right.
for years. I done
You right.
seen both.
You right. You right. You caught me.
I done seen
You
both
right. I got to get
sides.
my words together.
Yes.
All right. You're right. Let me be more exact. And see, that's another thing, fellas. You do got to get your words right. You have to get your words
Mm-hmm.
right. So yes, read a book.
Mm-hmm.
Educate yourself, man. Like they are educated. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
when you hear them big SAT words, hey, pull your Google, do what you need to do, bro. I do it. It's fine. You're only dumb when you're not trying to find out.
But yeah. So what you was about to say? So
N-
not all.
Not
Not
all,
all.
not all, but
Okay.
some.
So.
They did not have dad around, or dad was around, but he wasn't present. And I could feel that. I could relate to that as a
Mm-hmm.
man because, of course, as a man growing up as a little boy, you want to be around the masculinity. You want to
Mm-hmm.
learn some of the manly stuff.
Right.
You want to do that. Unfortunately for me, my dad, he was around, but he wasn't in my life like he should have been. But I had granddaddy, I
Mm-hmm.
had uncles, I had cousins, I had all these male figures around me to
Mm-hmm.
help shape and mold me. Now, the crazy thing about it was them herd women are really hard. They hard, bro.
To hurt women.
The herd women,
Hurt. Okay.
my
Your
family.
family. Okay.
So you would think like the male were to teach me a lot of the manly stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
it was the women that were really enforcing, like, look, you need to be a man. You need to, and when it came to me doing some silly stuff, the men, they would just pick at me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would know, like, yeah, I ain't trying to do that.
Right.
Right. But like, I got one of them light skinned grandmoms. I don't know if y'all know about them light skinned grandmoms. But hey, they hell. You know what I'm saying? And she's stern, man. She's stern. So like I had, people like that in my life to kind of mold me to where I am today as far as being a man and thinking
Right.
like a man.
Right. I mean, I can understand that. I feel like that definitely plays a part into to how we interact with each other.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna say this. Like I say, I just feel like I'm gonna go back to the daddy comment.
Go ahead.
Have I met women who have admitted that wholeheartedly. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know women who have the most superior father who will go to the ends of the earth for her? I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
If she needs something, he's there at the drop of a dime so she
Mm-hmm.
won't have to depend on a man.
Mm-hmm.
And she has multiple kids because we're not saying she's looking for a daddy. In her case, it was, I thought that it was going to work out over here and it didn't. So like sometimes, and I feel like again it leads into women are very forgiving in a space of trying again.
Yeah.
We can be a little and I say naive because we don't take the time to learn the lessons that we need
But
to learn.
that's the perfect word to use for that though. That
Okay.
is naive.
We can be okay, we can be
Gullible, you know what I'm
naive.
saying?
Okay. Well, we gonna hold it there. We can be
Yeah.
not a little naive because we're not taking that time to like
Mm-hmm.
understand. I've seen it so much. And that's why I think it makes it so difficult because,
Mm-hmm.
and this is why when women, which I applaud women for not feeling so hurt that they can't try again.
Right.
Because I feel
Yeah.
like
That's
this.
strong.
I feel like this. When a man gets hurt,
Yeah.
I don't see him trying again too soon. He gonna do some foolery for a little while. He gonna
Yeah.
run amok for a little
Yeah.
while. But a
Yeah.
woman, she'll cry, she'll get it over with, and she'll try again. So I feel like women are resilient in that. We just need to learn in that space. But I also feel like it makes it difficult because when she forgives and she decides to try again in another space,
Mm-hmm.
something happens,
Mm-hmm.
or even if it's not a kid, just relationship anyway. The men are looking at it as she's having sex with somebody else. I she's undesirable because this man is putting her head through the mattress. Sir, you were not the first man that she ever laid with. Stop thinking. One man told me when you have a kid, we just look at y'all, that man did all the nastiest things to you that I wanted to do, sir.
That's an insecurity
She
issue.
probably already had you probably have too, already had the
Yeah.
nastiest things done. So
That's an
it's
insecurity
like
issue.
women have it hard for moving on. What's so crazy is a man will say he respect most men, not all.
Mm-hmm.
Most men will say they respect a woman more for sitting at home and being a good, faithful girlfriend or wife while he runs the streets. Long as she keep herself clean, he can go out and get dirty. And he respects her because she sat right there and took it. No, women today, we're not doing that. So it makes it hard because then y'all look at it like we bouncing around. Nah, we just,
See, he looking at it from a control standpoint.
yeah.
That's
But
controlling.
can we admit a lot of men are controlling?
Yeah.
That's what makes the relationship thrive with
But you
them.
got a lot of guys that are passive as well.
They are.
You have guys out here that'll spend their last on their woman, and then their woman will turn around and look at them when they kind of down on their wits end. You know, like I ain't helping you on some type shit, like
Yeah.
And so what you're saying, it goes for some of the guys too. Um, they can be naive, especially the ones who spin. Oh, if I give her this, if I buy her this,
Trying to buy love.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
when it's not genuine. If you gotta buy her love, if you gotta buy her happiness, it's not genuine at all.
I agree with
I'm all
that.
about the love, the genuineness of the dating.
Mm-hmm.
If you genuinely like each other, you know what I'm saying? You can see it growing, you know. Now it may be some things like you said to where some things don't work. And
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of situations where it's a mutual split.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mutual
Yeah.
split and there
Yeah.
ain't no issues, there's no bad blood.
Yeah.
They best friends outside of the relationship than
Mm-hmm.
they were in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like you said, you can't put everything in the same box. You're
Mm-hmm.
right. That is correct. Because I mean, I've seen a multitude of situations.
Listen, when I say I just think it makes it so hard to have a conversation with like when it comes to dating. Like it makes it so hard to talk about it. It makes it hard to move forward because I feel like this men are very afraid of getting their feelings hurt. I've heard
Hell
multiple
yeah.
men tell me I gotta be careful with you. I gotta take my time because I love real hard. And when I love real hard, it's like they wouldn't even finish the sentence. They'll just be like this.
They
And
told
I'm
you
like,
this.
yeah. And I'm like,
Listen,
what is
hey,
the beating on the
listen.
what does that mean? Like,
What you mean? I just told you. I walked into your damn house and looking at all this shit. What the fuck? What do you mean? Look at how you look, bro. Yeah, that is intimidating to a motherfucker. What?
Why though? But I
Because
just had
everybody ain't used to having a bad bitch.
but
Respectfully.
but I heard, but we just saw Elle sit on here and say, we don't care about this. We don't care about the glitz, the glamour, the degrees. We don't care about none of that.
L, why you lied up here like that? We do care.
I feel like y'all should care too. Because it's like if a woman comes to the table with absolutely nothing. And then this is my thing
Yeah.
too. Back then, I dated differently, right?
Right.
So I'm not gonna say I was always the woman that didn't believe at 50-50. I'm not
Right.
gonna say that.
Right.
There are
Right.
things that changed it for me. So
Mhm.
as I elevate in life and I've
Mhm.
elevated myself and now
Mhm.
I date in a different
Mhm.
tax bracket
Mhm.
and I date a different person or
Mhm.
different caliber of people,
Mhm.
I get something different. So
Yeah.
I agree with you going back to it, it whatever floats your boat in your
Right.
relationship.
Right.
But it makes it so difficult because so many people are judging what the other person is doing. I got friends who do 50-50. I got a friend who pays all the bills and her man does nothing. Then you got me in my situation and y'all gonna hate it, y'all not gonna like it. I don't pay a damn thing.
Mhm.
Nothing. But that's how because my person can afford that. But again, I've said before, when it comes down to you walking in here and seeing this, I have big bills at the end of the year I have to pay. There's like 5 to 6 bands at a time up front.
Mhm.
We ain't where we at, you can't pay no
Mhm.
flood insurance month by month. I'm gonna give you $50 here. No, they want it all up front.
Yeah.
1995 to be
Yeah.
exact. I'm
Yeah.
not asking my partner for that. That's where I show up at. And if they
Yeah.
ever fall on their ass, guess who got enough money in the bank to see us through for a whole year?
Mhm.
Me.
And that's all about finding somebody you equally yoked with. Like,
Yes.
you know what I'm
Everybody's
saying?
equally yoked looks different. People are so
Yeah.
judgmental
Yeah.
nowadays. You
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
tell your story or you can't tell your preference without somebody saying something
Mhm.
about it. That's what makes it difficult.
That's all the more reason for you to stay private. I think
That's
you shouldn't really tell all your business to
mhm.
everybody because once you do that, you open up a can of worms that you just like, wait a minute, she talking or dang, I ain't know he looked at me like this or yeah, because other people for some odd reason, you could be talking about some things genuinely. You could be talking about some of the things that you have or some things that you have going on. The other side, they will look at it like throwing that in my face, like you know
Mhm.
what I'm saying, and they're automatically triggered because they're taking offense because
Yes.
they don't have it. It's a
Yes.
crab in a bucket mentality. We in the South,
Oh, I cannot stand the crab in the bucket mentality. And my thing is, this is what I want men to understand.
right?
If
Right.
you don't want to do 100% and you desire 50-50, it's a woman out there who will give you that.
Yes.
Don't tear another person down because you can't afford
Right.
to be in that tax bracket
Right.
right now and live that way.
Right.
It's okay. It's
Right.
cool.
Yeah.
And that's why I say date who you can afford. That goes back into when you have your life set up. Like I'm gonna use you for an example. I ain't even gonna use me as a woman.
Okay.
Let's say you got your everything going on. You got your car, your house, your job. You got the way you do life. You may take a trip 2-3 times a year, right?
Mhm.
You may like to have your $200 gym membership that you have
Mhm.
going on. Now you decide to bring a woman into your life.
Mhm.
What if you bring somebody like me into your life?
Mhm.
Now you got to make sure does my salary match being equally yoked with Snow enough for us to not get rid of our desires and our wants that helped us, like be happy with everyday life. Like I don't want to join a relationship where I got to take something away from myself to
Mhm.
make you feel comfortable. Oh, well, baby, we not going to be, I'm coming to you. Oh, baby, we ain't going to be able to do the gym membership no more. And you're going to have to cut down to maybe one vacation every 2 years because X, Y, and Z. You're going to be like, no, I want you to fit into my life.
Right.
And that's
Right.
why I tell
Right.
women,
Right.
a man has to date, and I tell men you have to date who you can afford
Mhm.
because you have to fit into that woman's life. Women now are more independent than ever.
They are.
We're buying houses at 23, 24 years old.
Mhm.
You get
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I bought my
Yeah.
house at 28 because you know why? I was in a relationship. I wasn't equally yoked. I thought that I could live off of potential. I could
Mhm.
be like, I make more than you, but it's okay. I can switch things up to make it fit. And he wasn't ready for a house 5 years down the line, and I was. That's when I learned, no, Snow. They don't have to make more than you.
Mhm.
They at least need to be at that baseline
Mhm.
because when he comes into your life, he's going to want to be a provider. He's going to want to be a man.
Mhm.
And me, I believe in gender roles. That's
Right.
why I can talk the shit that I talk. I believe in gender roles. You with me? And you taking care of what needs to be taken care of. I'm a homemaker. Bath water ran, food cooked
Right.
3 times a day.
Right.
I'm on it. I'm your woman.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a woman.
Right. Right.
Whether
Right.
you're here or not, and I
Right.
know how nurturing I can be.
Right.
So I know what your part needs to look like. And I think people don't like that because they're surface level thinkers.
Yeah.
They hear one word that they don't like
And it's shut down.
and they shut down.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, you got to date how you fit into somebody's lives. Like, yeah, we're going to make some changes. We're going to make some adjustments, but you don't want to take things away from somebody that makes them them or makes them happy.
Right. But even still though, like we talk about, you got to add value to the other person's life. When you get into a relationship, on either side, you have to want them to add value to your life. Let's say like
Yes.
if they have something going on, whether you're not the provider or he is, or vice versa, and you own let's say you got this podcast here, and you dealing with somebody and he's not on your scale or whatever, and he comes in like, what do I need to do to get this?
Right.
Like I'm willing to do whatever, like, I gotta sell whatever, do this. I need to go work over here. What do I need to do to get on this level? And if you come with that type of mindset, I think there's a lot of potential there. But I don't think, when you get into like we talk about, a lot of other people that get into these relationships and then they really see what these people have, you start getting jealous. Like, man, how you get all of this? Like, where you get
Or
the money?
get insecure.
They get
They
insecure.
hate the word afford, and maybe I need to find a better word than that. Just somebody you're equally yoked with. Like, y'all are scared to have these conversations, and men want to say, oh, it's a prostitution conversation if y'all talk about finances. Why the hell would you want to build a family with a woman who can't contribute to your life in some
Right.
way, shape, or form?
Right. You have to look at the signs and be like, okay, well, if that's a conversation that triggers you, then I need to have a conversation with somebody else.
Yeah.
But we get so stuck. Well, I want this person to be it. Everybody come in a different size, shape. You know what I'm
They
saying?
do, they do.
And
And I feel like men a lot of time, like, because relationships have just become the way that they are, like, they feel like they have to. I've had so many and this is why I don't understand why some men act like this shit don't exist. Whatever you want, whatever you need, I can give it to you. Sir, we're only on date 1. I want to get to know, like, let's have a conversation. Let me get to know you. Let me see if I even like your attitude. Let me see, because I'm this type of person. It ain't always it's not always the financial. I done stopped talking to get to know somebody because he had me wait. I'm the damn woman. I don't wait on you to get dressed. I don't wait on you. You did it 2 times. That's enough for me. We hadn't even made it to the conversation about we hadn't even made it there. So I just feel like,
yeah, if he's getting dressed longer than you, that
it's
would
more that plays into it for me. Like, but
that's a
a big
conversation to be
percentage,
had.
27% of people have reported that, finances played a role in them separating. Like,
Right.
why do we get into these relationships? And that's our problem. And that's why these conversations a lot of people can't take. And somebody told me today, just, I want you to tighten it up a little bit. It's stinging. I don't care that it's stinging. This is why the cycle repeats itself, because we keep avoiding the conversation. It's not, we got to start meeting people and having hard down conversations so we can stop having kids with people we're not supposed to. Stop building families, getting married with people and not know what's going on. You need to know what that woman got going on. She needs to know what you got going on. You need to see people in every season. If you sitting around the table from me and I'm telling you, yeah, baby, I'm a great homemaker. I can make sure that I keep, our home the way it needs to be. I can contribute the way you want me to as a woman. How you gonna test that with me, Ty, if I don't show you that?
Yeah.
So you're right. All the men in the comments, oh, if he's showing up in her life contributing to paying bills because he said he wants to be the provider when he moves her in or they get married. We're talking about serious relationships here. I tell you, men, have a list for her too. And if that is every time she comes over your house, you see if she tidies it up for you without asking her. Because you want to see what type of woman she is. Is she a nasty woman? Is she a clean woman? Can she help me take care of the kids that we bring into this world? Because I know as a man, I'm going to be a provider.
That's a big one. On the flip side, though, what about those ones in the dysfunctional relationships, right? where we talk about, you know, they sleep in separate rooms or what
Mm-hmm.
have you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but at the same time, you know, they're not leaving,
Mm-hmm.
but the kids, they grow up and they see, you know, our parents don't sleep in the same room and
Mm-hmm.
they barely speak to each other, what have you. I think we got to touch on those because I've seen a lot of those. I
Okay.
got a lot of, you know what I'm saying, peers that have been in those situations too. So not just the dating part, but even in the relationships where
Mm.
the dysfunction is so big to where it's just like, yo, y'all can't even sleep in the same room. Y'all don't use the same bathroom. Y'all don't eat the same food. Like,
I done been there before.
really?
Yeah, I've been. I'm. This is when I learned not to date down, man. I know y'all hate to hear me say that, but like, I we grew resentment towards each other because I had to show up in so many ways that I felt like he should have showed up. I'm like, why am I having to bring this conversation up or lead this conversation or like why am I having to do something? But again, you got to understand the type of woman I was. He worked his 12 hours. I worked my 8 hours. He got off at 12 o'clock in the morning. He go hang out with his boys, come home at 2 o'clock. Guess who up? Make a hamburger, steak, and gravy, cabbage, greens. 12 in the morning. I'm setting an alarm. I'm
She,
up. Guess who bath water ran clothes laid out? I'm up. So I can say that. If you know you a good woman, bro,
yeah, yeah,
women are nurturers.
yeah.
We are good. Some women are good women. I ain't talking about the ones that's running around here barely know how to wash their behind. I'm talking about good women. We're tired of the games. That's what make it so hard for us because we're getting to the point we don't know who to pour into. We don't know
Mm-hmm,
what to give. That's why
mm-hmm.
that man walked up to me in the store and said, "Oh, you're pretty. Do you know how to cook?" I said, "Yes, sir, I do." He said, "Well, they said stay away from y'all because y'all don't know how to cook, sir. Some of us don't, but some
Mm-hmm.
of us do. And
Mm-hmm.
y'all are more so worried about the outer appearance anyway, what we look like anyway. Y'all don't care about anything else, so you say.
Yes, we
Sometimes
do.
we're women just getting smart enough now that we ain't
Mm-hmm.
slaving over the stove for every single
Mm-hmm.
body. And y'all should be smart enough, like you said, some men shouldn't be so naive to try to buy somebody's love.
Right, right,
Let's
right.
like let's call it what it is. Like relationships kind of suck and it's hard
Mm-hmm.
on both ends because everybody has unrealistic expectations for
Mm-hmm.
the person you're dating.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like wanting a person to want to not do 50-50 is unrealistic dating
Right,
if you have that tax bracket of a person in your life and if you can do that.
right.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I it's just whatever floats your boat. But it
Man.
makes it difficult because some people have unrealistic expectations for their partner. They're looking on Instagram. They
Mm-hmm.
seeing how other people live, what they got going on.
Yeah,
You don't know their life.
yeah.
And now you come home to your partner and you have these unrealistic expectations and then it starts to go downhill from there. So for example, if a woman gets online and she hears me say what I have to say,
Mm-hmm.
she's looking at different women around her. What if she goes home to her husband or her fiance or whomever she's taking seriously and says, I know we was doing 50-50, but I want to change that now.
Mm-hmm.
That she shouldn't do that. I
Mm-mm.
don't agree with that
How you start is how you gotta finish.
because y'all should have established that before. You don't go
Mm-hmm.
and look at somebody else's life and then go and throw that on that man. Now, that's what I don't agree with.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm trying to encourage everybody to have those hard conversations. Have those. They
Mm-hmm.
may feel uncomfortable. That person may feel like, oh, you're using him. Oh, girl, he just wants a slave. No, he's telling you
Yeah,
his transaction to be a part of his life forever.
right.
He's telling you that he wants this type of woman, and you're telling
Mm-hmm.
him that you're looking for this type of man. But people are so scared to have that.
Yeah.
But they ain't scared to have the fallout conversations now.
Well,
They don't care about those.
the fallout conversations, the sex conversations, those are easy. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? They easy conversations, they easy go tos because like I look around, guys. I mean, we observant. We see what women are attracted to. So if I come to her with this, then what I'm saying, let me see if she going. And you got the guys. Well, for the females, you know, he over here buying me drinks. Let me see if I can, text him a little bit. I ain't gonna give him too much, but you know what I'm saying. Let me see if I can, what I'm saying, see what we can do here. It's the same on both sides.
Yeah.
We gotta do better at communicating. We gotta find different things to communicate. We gotta expand our horizons on, just anything, man. Because them sexual conversations, they last what, maybe 5-10 minutes, and then guess what? It goes awkward after that. Yeah, man, stop doing that.
Who do you feel like gets the most pressure when it comes to dating? Who's the most pressured? I feel like the men. Sorry, ladies. I love y'all. I love my
Uh,
ladies.
y-
Pressure wise, I feel like the men.
the men, yeah, I would give it that because it's a want for them to do more, and a lot of guys, like I said, they're doing what they're taught. They're
Hmm.
doing what they saw. I mean, I ain't ain't trying to tell on nobody, but me, I saw my dad. We take my cousins out and stuff, and we be out with his little people, and I'm just
Hmm.
like, and me and the
Yeah.
cousins looking at each other like we can't say
We can't
nothing.
say nothing.
You know what I'm
Ooh,
saying?
that's some messy
Yeah,
stuff.
we grew up with that. Like we grew up around that, so it was just like, ooh, you know. But I try not to live like that. But that's why I'm single. So
Right. I feel, and I can agree with that. I feel like the men, and I'm gonna say this is why, because it goes back to me saying, women are more forgiving when it comes to dating.
hmm
We're a little more delusional. We, like we said, naive a little bit.
hmm
Y'all have the pressure on y'all from women to do better than the last man,
yeah,
to treat us better,
we're
to,
always being
and
compared.
yeah, and sometimes when we go into those relationships, some women, they're
hmm
bringing along baggage.
hmm
We bring baggage because we don't heal. That baggage could be an attitude and frustration, it could be trust issues, it
Yeah,
could be kids,
yeah.
and you're bringing all of that into that man's life, and you're
hmm
asking him to not only love you, but to love you through the baggage, but to maybe also love. We can go back to the single parent home, who has a mother who has 3 kids by 3 different men. Now he has to deal with every single man, every single
hmm
drop off, every
hmm
single time that man doesn't pay his child
hmm
support, every single time little Junior is crying because his daddy isn't showing up. Now you got to, that's a lot
Yeah.
for a man. That's why a lot of men are pressured and scared to date women with children, whether it's one or two, because
Right.
you have to then think about, I can't come in this woman's life and play.
Right.
I got to be for real. I'm going to hurt the kid too, unless you just an asshole. So I
hmm
feel like the pressure on y'all to treat us better than the last is
hmm
hard, because we as women need to realize that the choices that we make are the choices
hmm
we make.
hmm
Can't nobody come and fix what somebody else broke.
Right.
And I don't think y'all do that. Y'all do it in a different way. Y'all come out angry. You get what I'm
hmm
saying? Or maybe like hoish.
Right.
But
Right.
y'all don't never,
Right.
I never get from y'all that y'all expect us to fix what another woman took you through, or
No.
broke inside of you. I think y'all close that part off and
Yeah.
share with us other parts
Yeah.
before you ever ask us to fix it. We got to dig that out of
We
y'all.
do.
We
We
got to
do.
dig that out of
We
y'all.
do. We'll look at some things that you're doing, and you might do something differently that we want the other, well, we wanted our past to do, and it's just one of those things like, oh, and it could be one simple little thing, and then we fall for it. It's just like, oh, we think, oh, she about to be that one. You
Hmm.
know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Let me see how, you know what I'm saying? Let me see what else. She doing good things. She doing stuff
Yeah.
that I like.
Hmm.
So, and it also makes us kind of, let me do something for her. Let me consider her in some areas. So I mean, and that's all positive energy that could be reciprocated. And I think, like it always goes back to that love thing, man. If
Hmm.
you really like a person, you'll grow to love them.
Hmm.
You're gonna do the right thing.
Right.
You know,
I can agree with that. So who do you feel like is most misunderstood, and why?
most misunderstood, I would say the men.
Okay.
The reason why is because for the most part, we don't know how to display emotions. Our emotions come out wrong.
Mm,
A lot of time is anger.
y'all are so angry. Let me ask
hmm
you this. When did men start to become so disrespectful towards women? Like, what did we do to y'all to make y'all we feel like y'all hate us?
So you remember what I was talking about? The girl bouncing around, Tom, Dick, and Harry shit.
Hmm.
So you got to look at the men where they have mothers that weren't all that nice to them. They weren't that mother to them, and so
Wow.
that's where it all comes from.
So
It's
it's like I said, it's mommy issue, it's emotional issues from
mhm.
something that happened to you, something you seen, or
Or
something you were
something
taught.
that didn't happen. Like
Mm,
my mom was, she
mm,
kind of treated me rough, or X, Y, and Z. You gotta think a lot of guys have been talked to a little rough by their
Yeah, I
moms, you
have
know.
seen that before. Yeah,
And so, you know, you
yeah.
have, I know a couple of my homeboys, you know, they know how to deal with women because of how their moms are.
Mhm.
Their moms always yelling, cussing, things of that nature. Where now it's just like, you know, they take it with a grain of salt. You get these
Right.
other guys, you know, they come out here and, you know, you turn your nose up and he all of a sudden in his feelings
Mhm.
because that's a mommy issue.
So you feel like a lot of issues with dating can also come from daddy issues and mommy
Yeah,
issues.
because if you
I
think
agree.
about it, you looking for somebody. This is
Yeah.
what the old folks would say. You looking for someone to replace your mom, and you looking
Yeah.
for someone to replace your dad. Like that's just what it is in that companionship.
And you know what's so crazy? I can agree with that because I am how I am because
Hmm.
of what I saw my dad do. Like
Hmm.
he loved my mom down. You hear
Hmm.
me? Like
Hmm.
he loved her down. They share passwords. I don't care
Hmm.
about my partner having my password. Who cares? I don't care. I'm not asking if go grab my phone, somebody calling me, open it up. Who is that? That's me. That's how I
Hmm.
love, but that's how I saw my people love. Like,
Hmm.
and so when I run into men that are so like angry and nasty,
Hmm.
it's like what the hell is wrong with y'all?
Hmm.
And sometimes I feel like it's because they were, like you said, hurt by women.
Hmm.
And that's
Hmm.
why I feel like women are so forgiving when it comes to that space. And it's draining
Hmm.
for a woman in this day and age to not be able to express what she's looking for in
Hmm.
a partner
Hmm.
and not be judged. I I ain't gonna lie. Y'all gonna hate when I say this. I feel like it's some lazy men out there. I get so tired of seeing the comments, oh, they selling cat. Oh, this is prostitute. Man, be a man. Be a man, sir. And if you cannot be a man, don't date that woman. If you're not ready to, don't. We're tired. Y'all, we got a hard life too. We're women trying to fight our way up in careers, and we're black women at that for some of us. We can't even really get ahead in our careers because they'll choose y'all over us. So we're like tired of the excuses, we're tired of the issues, we're tired of the anger because women, we don't give as much anger, and that's why sometimes we put ourselves back in the same mess over and over again because we have the hope that it's going to be different. But y'all shut down and it's like because you and I feel like this again, men are
Hmm.
scared of getting their heart broke because
Hmm.
you can give your all to a woman, you can,
Hmm.
and she could not want you, she could not accept it. That's real true facts.
Hmm.
And I get that. That's why I feel like the pressure is on y'all.
Hmm.
As women, we are not asked to give much. We are not. Y'all don't require much from us.
You really
So
don't.
me on a woman as a platform saying, "Hey fellas, you're telling these women that you don't require much.
Hmm.
So let me show you what that looks like." But then when we say that, they
Hmm.
get upset. No. I know we're not asked for much. But the thing that really is important to you when you're dealing
Hmm.
with the woman or when you're dealing with the man, ask those questions.
Right.
Like, ask the questions without it having to be such a hasty conversation. Cause y'all already know as men, once y'all interview that woman in the way y'all gonna interview her,
Hmm.
if she don't fit into your life, you ain't gonna take her serious. You gonna sleep with her.
Yeah,
You
of
gonna
course.
beat it down,
You gonna
but
do
you
what
ain't gonna
you
take her serious.
nah, it's not. You not. Cause
They
we look at honestly the women that are easy, we don't take serious.
but y'all look at us as objects. Yeah, I sometimes I feel like it's very few men, very few. They come a dime a dozen because I
Hmm.
don't box y'all all in. But some men outside of the physical, they
Yeah.
don't care about no other interaction with a woman. And I feel like those are the men that hate us down the most.
Yeah.
And then y'all get with these women, you have sex with them. Women are emotional. Now she's asking you for something that you don't want to give her, and instead of moving on, you continue to manipulate her. You continue. So I feel like women have it hard because of that. Just the mind, this just manipulation.
Mm.
Y'all know for a fact you don't. I mean, I know some people right now dealing with some people they know wouldn't take them. They would not take them serious. They wouldn't. They wouldn't. None of that, and they still with him. But he interviewed her from the beginning, but she couldn't act. She couldn't interview him. She couldn't ask him no questions. I'm like, man, how is that fair?
Yeah. Uh I've seen the same thing on opposite end too though. And it's more so like, you know, it's kind of pushing them off,
Hmm.
like, you text them and then, you take you a minute to text back, those types of deals.
You talking about women take long to text back?
Hell yeah.
We be
Shit.
busy.
I understand. If
We
it
be
takes too
busy. We
much,
got
hey,
stuff going on.
look, hey. See me, I'm the king of acting stupid.
And then too, sometimes some women are just they have really good self control. They don't want to
Yeah,
like
yeah.
throw
Hmm.
themselves in too fast. So some,
Hmm.
and then I'm gonna be honest, y'all can say all day that we text back too slow, but honey, if we give you too much time or we in your face too much, then it's like I don't like nobody who ain't got nothing going on. It's like y'all want the attention, but if we give you too much of the attention, then it's like
But then that would be a good conversation starter for both of them. And you know what I'm
okay.
saying? Like you got to look at certain things too, like little nuances like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how you start your conversations. That's how
Mm-hmm.
you get to know your people,
Right.
right? If we take a second and think like, okay, well, you talking to me about something. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, what's the issue? Just tell her, look,
Right.
I'm a communicator. I like to talk. I may
Yeah.
talk too much,
Mm-hmm.
or well, I'm not a big talker. Or if you're not on text, I don't really text. I FaceTime.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? I done been on FaceTime with plenty of my homies, man. And we be on FaceTime for hours. And we'll
Yeah.
be talking for a minute, then we'll be quiet for a little second. I know you there because I hear you breathing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You keep breathing though. When you stop breathing, hey, whoa, everything all right over there? And then we'll come back, but we'll talk about something else. We
Yeah.
had that little break where, we just listen to each
Yeah.
other breathe. But I think, people are scared of those types of interactions. It's
Yeah.
okay to have little dull moments in your conversation. You're not
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
what to talk about all the
Mm-hmm.
time.
Yeah.
But the fact that when you do come to the table and you do have something to talk about, that tells a person like, hey, you're not one, you're interesting. You know what I'm saying? You're not dumb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
you
No,
always
I
gonna
agree.
have something to talk about,
Yeah.
and then you give that person that feeling of, oh, I feel safe around them. I
Yeah.
don't have to feel like he just want me for my draws.
Yeah, but let's be clear that
He playing it off real good.
right, I was
He
about to
want the
say
draws,
I
but
was about
hey,
to,
he gonna talk
I was
around
about to
that
say
mother.
please let's not act like that's not all y'all want. We could go back to the 4-person panel now
Well, we
like
can. We sure can.
and so it's just
We
like
sure can.
why so let me ask you this. This is a question I've been wanting to ask a man.
What's up?
So most men are saying that women should not have, or it makes them uncomfortable for a woman to have the conversation that I like to have when I'm starting to seriously date somebody, which is how are you going to contribute to my life? How am I going to contribute to yours in the way that I decide that I want to do it? Now, let me ask you this.
Hmm.
And I've also heard men say that women cannot ask for anything. Y'all prefer we don't ask, y'all prefer that you offer. So,
Okay.
how does that translate when it comes to you guys expecting a intimate relationship on a physical level? Why do some men continue to sleep in a woman's bed,
Hmm.
come to her home,
Hmm.
use her body, play with her mind, play with her feelings, but she can't get anything in return? You can't lift one weight off of her shoulder without saying she's a beggar, she's a user, she's a flat purse gold digger.
Oh, them
But
niggas crazy as hell. Y'all
I
need to
don't
stop.
understand it.
You gotta stop fucking with them
I don't
niggas.
understand
They
it.
control freaks.
That
Nah,
I
you
feel
gotta have them conversations, man. Like you on both ends. You can't you can't throw a key out in a big old warehouse in the dark and you blindfold somebody and tell them find the key and find this window. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Everybody got to be transparent. You got to come to the middle, find a middle ground.
right.
Those conversations are, now we can go about it a little different. Like, especially on that first date, you just got to kind of feel that vibe out.
And I ain't gonna on the first date. I feel like don't get in my finances because I ain't gonna get in yours. I don't know how far this gonna go
Facts,
from here.
facts,
But
facts.
again, I think people so surface level tied that they
Hmm.
overlook the word seriously dating.
Yeah,
Seriously
yeah.
dating,
Well,
sir.
because what you just said, seriously dating. That's intimidating to some people because they know, look, she's seriously dating. She trying to marry a nigga.
Mary.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm still out here playing. You know what I mean? People like they play. Hey, people like to play. Shit.
Yeah, and I feel like this.
Like
I
to
always
play.
tell my
Play
women,
around.
a man will waste your time as long as you allow him. A man will use you up as long as you allow him to. But if you're an intentional dater, there are some things that you have to set the tone for. And as a man, y'all got to stop just worry about knocking the boots. You need to be, because that's how you end up with baby mamas that you
Yeah.
can't stand. Man, she's so nasty. She don't do nothing for the kids. You would have knew that if you had a conversation with her when she was trying to talk, to you about stuff. You
Yeah.
didn't see that she was drunk. Come on
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
as a
You're
man,
right. You're right.
you need to focus on what you looking for too. Stop worrying
Mhm.
about what I'm looking for.
You're
Don't
right.
worry about what I want.
But it's a little gray area too when it comes to that sex thing. Cause I done heard women say, look, they gotta take that car for a test drive. They gotta know what the hell going on down there. Cause they don't want to get no for real. And I
No,
can understand it. Cause you don't want to get with somebody, the conversation good, he can
yeah.
cook, he
Yeah.
clean up, he do. Then you get to that room, you like, this nigga done lost his damn
Y'all,
mind.
I know plenty of homegirls over my course of living that done left, and I'd be so pissed if I could strangle them. I would. I said you left a good wholesome man for a man because he got a big man.
Yeah.
But listen,
It's
it
tragic.
it's so and it. Let me tell you something. It's so tragic, and I do not advise any woman to base a relationship off of that. Yes, I know that you need that. I know. That's why I say that women and men, we think the same things.
Yeah.
We don't like when y'all fat. We don't like the same sex positions all the time. That's why they make so many toys for us to have something to do.
Hey, some of y'all
We
got
the
some,
di-
hey, y'all got
the,
some things
the
back there,
different the
boy.
difference between us is most of us don't want to go live with another man and feel like a hoe, whether you know it or not. But y'all go lay y'all head on another pillow and it's cool.
Cause it's different. Y'all doing it from an emotional standpoint. We
Mm-hmm.
doing it because look, I'm either frustrated, I gotta get some shit off my mind, or shit, just it's in the moment. Like, we're not falling in love with her, it's something different. It's not right.
It's not. And you know what? The men with man, yo.
I'm just being blunt. I'm just being real. I'm
No,
sorry.
I agree. I agree with that. Like, if y'all want to take the car for a test run, take it for a test run. Cool. But do not get hypnotized to where you have taken it for a test run and the car is running down and it ain't need an oil change and the damn tires flat and it's backfiring all day and you still it's fine though because
It's still
the
getting
motion of the
it.
ocean. I feel so
Yeah.
good. I be having ladies in my comments, but sis, I love him so bad because it feels so good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's an example of a man will use you up
Yeah.
if you allow him
Yeah.
to. If you, as an intentional woman, if you know that that's what men are looking for, that's when
Hmm.
you got to set the tone for yourself. I'm not saying you got to be out here being no virgin. Like,
Yeah.
come on, I
Yeah.
ain't even about to
Yeah.
say that.
Right.
But don't let it cloud your judgment. I learned as I got older, sex clouds your judgment.
It does.
It clouds your judgment, especially for a woman. One thing I hate for a woman to say, it pisses me off so bad. I can control my emotions with him. I'm just sleeping with him. You know how many homegirls I got that was in it for the plot and now they in love.
Yeah.
Now they in love.
You know what's funny?
I said, sis, how do we get here?
In college, I wrote a theorem on
Mhm.
cheating.
Really?
Yeah. And boy, everybody disagree with me, but hey, look, I had fun.
What was it? What did you say to
It's needed. It is needed. Because you got some women that don't value your man. You don't give them no credit. And then you got dudes, y'all don't value y'all woman. So I think cheating is necessary.
Hold on, wait. When we say necessary, I'm shaking my head. But I ain't shaking
Yeah.
my head to that shit. I ain't
Okay.
gonna say that. But my ladies got upset with me yesterday because I said
Oh, I seen that.
they got upset. Them comments was dry. And if y'all watching this, I'm so
Yeah.
upset with y'all. I'm ashamed that y'all called me male centered because I told you to respect a good man if God has placed one in your
Yeah,
life or
man.
whomever you serve has placed one in your life. Because yes, just like a woman, when we feel hurt, when we're misunderstood, our friends on the phone, girl, you need to leave. Devin, I got a better man for you. It's somebody else that's gonna treat you better. You start having those thoughts too. The difference is you don't move your pitter patter feet as quick as that man will. But if you disrespect that man, y'all got mad at me yesterday because I said sometimes men don't cheat because they're not attractive or because attracted to you or because they don't love you. It's because how you talk to him. You're disrespectful. You don't allow him to be a man. You don't allow him to love you right. And listen to this. If he is a good man, You know how many times I done sat on the phone when I had a good relationship and my homegirl like, you better get it out with me right now. Because when you go in that house, you better address it better. I'm like, you absolutely right. I done made it to a different caliber of people, and this feels different. You absolutely right. I can't handle this person, my anger and frustration like I would with the last person who really treated me like shit. You absolutely right. I'm loved and I'm cared for. Treat y'all people right. Y'all men can step, they got feelings too. The love that man has for you. And let me tell y'all this, ladies. The thing about why I understand where he's coming from, and I wanted to have a conversation today, is because men love hard. And when a man loves a woman, he will not love another woman the way that he may have a replacement. He may have a second
He'll
best.
have a side piece.
He will have a
But that
second
main thing,
best.
he'll move mountains for her.
He will move mountains. He loves her down. And some of them, I've had friends. I've had friends from years ago, y'all, who had a great husband. He was a great husband. This man watched her have a baby by another man. He still married her. He watched her get pregnant while they was married. He still let her have insurance while they was married, and she was all across town. Even when she woke up one day and said, I don't want it no more. I want to go to the man that I've been fucking from the club every night. And I'm her friend over here saying, hold on, friend. You don't know that man outside of the club hours. You got a good man over here that's nursing you and your baby that you had on him. He moved you down. He put you to school. He's doing everything. You're going to tear him up for the next woman. That woman got up and said, I want to go be with my club man. We in love. You know what that man did? He loved her so much. He loved her and her daughter so much. He got up. He made sure her oil was good. Her tires was good. Her car was good. And he sent her on about her way. I remember I was going to work one time and I was dealing with this. This is why I'm so happy I'm in the space I'm in and I can say the things I say. I remember one time I got into it with my dude. When I told you I made more than him, we started having a resentful relationship. Oh. And I remember we got into it or something about something one day. And I left out and I went to work. This is when I had to drive probably about an hour to work. On my way home, I was, but look, I was a hustler, man. I had a job in town, a job out of town. I was in school. I was doing my thesis, all of that stuff. So I come home. Yeah. Like my daughter would go to before school care, after school care, and after school care because mama was still hustling. So that's why I said I was getting it. And what was he doing?
Did you go to sleep?
I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep. No. She slept on the way to school. She was like, can I take a nap? Baby, to school 5 minutes up the road, but take the nap. But I digress. But what I'm trying to say is I came home one day and I remember I pulled into the driveway and my tire came off the rim. I thank God that I had rolled that highway down. My tire came off the rim, y'all. By the grace of God. And I called that man.
He ain't come change your tire.
Listen. He was at work. I didn't even call that man to tell him that my tire had, because I was scared and frustrated. Okay. I called him to let him know I can't cook dinner tonight because my tire got off the rim. I was going to go get dinner. Everything is frozen. Could you pick up some McDonald's on the way home? Me and Squirt, we going to eat what's at the house. Yeah. But when in that conversation, that man said, I saw your tire flat before you left the fucking house this morning.
He ain't saying nothing?
He saw my tire going down. And because he was so nasty, he was so resentful, he did not tell me. And it wasn't nothing but God that took me all the way to work and back home. Y'all, when I pulled into that driveway, all I heard was the tire came off the freaking rim. Off the freaking rim. Yeah. And that's why I can sit here today and say, women, get a man or a partner. It doesn't have to be a man, it could be a woman, whatever the hell you desire. Love who gonna change your tire. Man, who ain't gonna come outside and see on his way to work, he see your tire going flat, but because he's so mad, he's so in his feelings, he let you risk your damn life. That's why I can sit up here and say like it's men out here like that. So when men get in the comments, ain't nobody doing that. There's a man that does that.
You need to add that to your checklist. Can you change a tire, nigga? You know how to change some oil?
Not even can you change a tire.
Fix my brakes.
It ain't even about the tire because he could change a tire. But as a man, when you're upset with me, can you still love me? Can you still love me?
And that I was gonna say.
Forget the tire. He could change a tire on the side of the road with his eyes closed. That didn't bother me. But can you still love me through your hurt and your pain? Can you still love me after we get to arguing?
And I think that right there, what you just said is the problem right there. You just hit it. Like when we get mad, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I done felt them feelings like, bitch, I don't want to do shit for you.
Yes, that's
You know
how
what I'm
you
saying?
felt.
God damn. But guess what? I find my dumb ass out there. Man, you know what? I want to break both of them off in the jaw.
See, like,
But guess what? You know, you walk in, yeah, I fixed the tire. You know what I'm saying? I got all my stuff out. You know what I'm saying? But that's about being a man too. One thing I learned about being a man in my family, men always outside, women always inside. That way you ain't got to deal with no bullshit. Stay outside. You know what I'm saying? I know it's hot. Stay outside.
why do you? What you mean by stay outside?
Men stay outside. Okay.
What you mean, like working, or they need to be outside with the
Just be
fellas?
outside. Listen, be outside.
You speaking
okay.
it cold.
No. Okay, no. Out the door. Not
Okay.
outside, like go to the club.
Okay.
Yeah, let me refresh that. I'm sorry. I forgot. Dang, the lingo. Go out the door. Be
Yeah.
outside. Be in the garage.
Okay.
Be in the yard. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got little boys, man. And get outside. Keep them boys outside. Cause me, as a football coach, get your kids outside. Get them active. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna keep all that foolishness down. It's gonna keep the woman in the house. She can do her woman stuff if she want to do her nails. Hell, she might gain the courage to fix you damn dinner. You never know. You out her way. You know what I'm saying? You doing man shit. You feel me? And you got your little boy doing man shit. Your little girl, they stay in the house. They understand what being little girls are. You know what I mean?
You know what? You right, because sometimes I have to be like, why the hell is a man entering himself into this conversation on a woman's platform? Sometimes it
stay out of them women.
Stay out of our conversations. We ain't in y'all conversations. Stay out of our conversations.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I told y'all one time. I said, go to work. Get off of TikTok with me. Go to work. Go stop worrying about what we talking about over here. We trying to get it together over here because accountability looks different in different ways. I can't tell you what a good man looks like if I don't call out the bullshit that they do. And that's y'all problem. Y'all insert yourselves into the conversation then. And it's like, I have to tell them all the time, if the Cinderella slipper doesn't fit, don't force it. Somebody taught me a long time ago, Snow, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. I had to learn that. Because I'd be like, what you mean? And I'm like, you know what? I can walk into a room right now and it could be a man and say, all y'all in here are hoes. I'm going to keep going. No. Girl, why you ain't saying that? Because I know I ain't. He ain't talking to me. But let me come into a room. All y'all broke. Oh, y'all going to beat my head down to the ground. Probably. Y'all going to get on my ass instead of sitting over there like, shit, my bank account good. Shorty ain't talking to me. She must projecting on some other stuff. Y'all take our us as women trying to protect each other as projection on your character. But if you're not that type of man, you ain't that type of man. And if you listen to the message, I always say I don't box y'all in. There's a good man. A man gonna be a man, but he ain't gotta be your man.
So you gotta watch out for that protection too, because a lot of y'all females ain't for each other.
And you right about that, but that's when
they be trying to fuck your nigga. Huh?
That's when women got to use their discernment, not only with their friends but with their man.
Yeah.
When you gonna use your woman's intuition? When you gonna use your discernment?
Yeah, because I had plenty of homeboys, and man, her homegirl hit me up. Hey man, I'll either show her or don't text back. Act like ain't any shit happen.
That that right there was listen. That right,
you gotta watch out for y'all friends, man. A lot of y'all ain't got good friends.
Yeah, a lot of y'all ain't got good friends, man. I can't even listen. But again, it goes into using your discernment, ladies. You pick the right partner, ladies. You get what I'm saying? That's why a lot of men don't want y'all to have a roster. And I always tell you, you have your roster of men so that you can use a process of elimination to choose the one that aligns with you. But you don't sleep with all of them. I understand you got needs. I'm not going to tell you to be a virgin. But understand this, from me, it clouds your judgment. And if you're an intentional dater, you cannot know what it looks like if you only date one person. You don't know what it really looks like. You don't know if it's anything different. That's why y'all date better than us. Y'all don't mind. Now, is y'all roster a little more crazier? Yeah, it's chaotic, but we gonna digress from that. But y'all date better than us because y'all know how to use the process of elimination from the first conversation. From the first conversation, if you ever notice, men are drop little little
Yeah.
bugs. They'll
Yeah.
drop little questions.
Yeah.
Little questions. I
Yeah.
remember one time this man, he said, "Do you believe in 50-50?" I said, "No." He said, "But I do. What are you bringing to my life if you're not like what value are you adding to my life?" And what did I do as a woman? Silly, naive woman. I know I don't believe in 50-50, but you know what? Maybe I could make this work. Man, that man went for me. We didn't align then, but guess what he would have did as a man? He immediately corrected me and said, "Well, this is what I believe in, and I'm not changing it for no woman." Women, have your list, have your checklist, and don't you change it for no man. And that's the thing. Men ain't liking that conversation that I'm having.
Mm,
It's the ego is getting in the way of
mm.
understanding what you get mad at this lady for. If you don't want to, if she don't float your boat, it's a billion other people in the world. Get another one.
See, I think people got a type, and they want that
They
certain
do.
type to
Men
be
and women have a type.
how they, you know what I'm saying, how they perceive in their mind how their significant other should be. And, you kind of got to get out of that too. You get color struck. You think, a certain woman, nah, you know, the woman or man that you have an idea of who you're gonna be with for the rest of your life could be somebody totally opposite of who
Yeah.
that is. And then you love them for like, yo, like I really love this girl, I really love this dude. Like you kind of gotta be open.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like to say don't be naive. You gotta use discernment. You
Yes.
gotta read between the lines. You gotta listen to the lingo. You gotta pay attention to what you're saying too. You can't just be talking out the side of your neck. And like today, I got to catch myself. So it's just one of those things where people got to be mindful
Yeah.
and as a whole,
Mm-hmm.
but don't go OD over it, man. Especially
No.
not on that first date. Just go
Yeah.
out and have fun.
Go out and have fun. Like get to know them and then see if
Hmm.
it's going. And that's why I say, I like to within 7 days be back in the presence of that person. So we can have those conversations we've been having over the phone in person. It shows that you're really intentional. You really want to get to know me. I want to see your body language. I want to
Hmm.
see if I ask you a question. I done been on a date before and I done asked a couple of questions and he kept doing this. That means he was lying. I picked up on that shit real
Oh
fast.
yeah,
You
giving
get what I'm saying?
indicators.
Like
Yeah,
no
yeah.
eye contact sometimes. Some
Oh
questions was
yeah.
uncomfortable. So it's like those first couple of dates, you get to know somebody. But when you actually have narrowed it down to that person and you want
Hmm.
to take them seriously, now it's because you got to understand serious conversations start like we gonna be together. Let's talk about moving in together one day. Let's talk about
Hmm.
a family or
Hmm.
marriage or a partnership for
Hmm.
life if marriage isn't your thing. So when you really get serious about that person, I feel like people should have those conversations. And you're right, it's about how you say it.
Hmm.
It is about how you say it in that moment, to make sure that that person isn't uncomfortable.
Right.
But I don't think that you should sugarcoat it so much that they don't know what the hell you talking about and they walk away with a misunderstanding.
Right.
And that's why I tell people date somebody that's on the same chapter of life as you.
Hmm.
You don't have to be on the same page, but the end
Hmm.
result is y'all can sit down when that chapter is done to say, "Hey, what is the conclusion of this?" But if you're still on chapter 8 and he's on chapter 10, even as a woman, why are you giving yourself to somebody why are you giving parts of yourself to somebody and you can't even do for yourself or give to yourself? You're on a different chapter in life.
Right.
It goes the same for women. Like you have to be what you're trying to attract.
I mean, like I said, I'm a football coach, and the thing is that we preach to these kids, man, is accountability. We got to start early. A lot of this stuff, like I said, we only doing what we taught to do, and a lot of us we weren't really made to have, or take accountability for a lot of the stuff. Whereas, you have the little girls, if you cry a little bit more, you'll get a little bit more.
Hmm.
Or, you got a little boy, can I have? No, you already had
Yeah.
one, you know what I'm saying? But they got more than I did. So, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? But at the same time,
They
I
do y'all wrong.
but I will say this, and no, it's not right. It is unfortunate for
Yeah,
little boys,
it is.
but you gotta be rough on your little boys. And you can't raise a little boy like you would raise a little girl. You
Yeah.
cannot do it because why? Look at what they're doing to our little boys. You got to look at what they're doing, and
Yeah.
it's more so preparing them for life. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Not
We as
just
women
to,
don't do that. Yeah.
yeah,
We don't know how to do that.
yeah, yeah, and that's the main thing. When they tell you, when he start smelling himself. He
Mhm.
start getting them, them pubic hairs. He need to go with his daddy. You know what I'm saying? He need to do that. He need to experience the hardships of life. Because he a little boy.
Yeah.
You want to make it easy for a little girl, but at the same time, let her know, like, look, shit ain't gonna be easy. You know, you're gonna have to work for some shit.
I feel like the double standard started so early when we were so
It
young. Y'all
does.
were
It
I
does.
used to grow up seeing so many little boys get punched in the chest because they were crying about something that I felt was actually worth crying about. And then you had, you know, girls, we had ways that we were treated as well, you know what I'm saying? So it's the double standards come early with women. We were always fussed at about having sex and getting pregnant, even if we weren't really doing that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
as I grew up, I was so like it's so unfortunate how those double standards exist because when you
Mhm.
think about parenthood, right? We
Mhm.
always get on to our little girls. And I had to start telling my friends who have sons, I said, I need y'all to stop having these double standards when it comes to the babies because if you look at it, 9 times out of 10, women are forced to raise their kids whether they want to or not. You a
Mhm.
good mama, and sometimes it'd be like, I got to because I got to do it. But who usually has those kids when a man has kids and he's still out in the streets? The
Mhm.
grandparents. Y'all be
Mhm.
so hard on the kid, on the girls in her
Mhm.
womb when whole
Mhm.
time she gotta be forced to raise hers. She give up
Mhm.
her whole life for hers, and he be gone on. And every time we get him the baby, he come running over. What call him 30 minutes later? What the baby doing? Oh, he at my mama house. I'm outside. You just got the damn baby.
Yeah,
Why
that's
is he at your
crazy.
mama
That's
house?
crazy.
And you know what I'm saying? But that goes into women using their discernment, picking
Mhm.
the right person that you having these
Mhm.
kids with. But again, no amount of I feel like no matter how you raise somebody, they're gonna end up being who they gonna be.
Right. Right. Right.
But they ain't gonna go too far from what you taught them.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like only a man can raise a
Mhm.
man because women, like you said, we prepare them for life in a different way. I don't have
Mhm.
a son, but I've seen my friends with sons, and even if I
Mhm.
put myself in their shoes, you're right. We're so overprotective. Y'all tell them how to handle it with the police. We try to act like we try to tell them how to avoid it.
How to
Y'all be
avoid it.
like, listen, some
Nah.
stuff you can't avoid,
Yeah.
son. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you how to
Yeah.
handle it when you in
Right.
his face and he in your face. Mamas be just make a left on Lamar and
Mhm.
avoid the police because they
Mhm.
be sick.
Mhm.
I used to see my grandma call her son
Mhm.
over there on 85, the police out now, and I know I want you to go the
Mhm.
other way.
Mhm.
Versus
Mhm.
go ahead, go down 85, and if you get stopped, know how to handle yourself as a man because your daddy taught you
Mhm. First off, your ass need to be driving speed limit.
that.
Have your seatbelt on, and your hands need to be at 10 and 2. If you ain't got those checked off, your ass did something you wasn't supposed to do. Your ass deserved to get a ticket. You deserve to go to jail. See, that's what my daddy, you know what I'm saying? When I went to jail with that little weed ticket, yeah, you
Yeah,
need to sit in there. And you know what I'm saying? My uncle, he's like, look, but you gotta show him, you gotta
yeah,
teach him, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? He's like, nah,
yeah.
you need to sit in there. And you know what? I
Mm-hmm.
learned.
Mm-hmm. Gotta learn your lesson. Gotta learn your
You gotta
lesson.
move differently, you
Mama would have
know.
been up there crying, get my baby boy out of there now. Get him out of there. Like for real. Like,
Yeah.
man, we was just talking about this, man. Y'all are a little like it's like y'all you gotta have that man in your life. Or a woman
Hmm.
is gonna spoil the
Hmm.
hell out of
Hmm.
her
Especially if she only
son.
got boys. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a
Yeah.
double standard too, like, cause sometimes women, that's why sometimes it's like daddy's little girl, and
Hmm.
she's more
Hmm.
close to her dad
Hmm.
because yeah, he gonna give it a whirl, he gonna let her whine and cry, and the mama ain't gonna be going for that. It be like that. So
Y'all women
y'all,
steal y'all dad's hearts. I'll
yeah,
tell
yeah,
you
we
that.
do. And that's why I am the way I
Yeah.
am. That's why a lot of people probably don't like me and can't deal with me.
Well, if
Cause even to this
yeah,
day.
I always tell you, well, just a gem for
Mhm.
all the guys. If you with a female and her daddy in her life, hey, you better make your decision right then and there. Look, am I gonna
But
do
they say
this?
women who talk like me don't have a daddy. They say we looking for a daddy.
Listen, okay. Then women who got daddies in their lives that are active, all right? Tread lightly, okay? Or if you gonna go in with that, go in and know, like, look, I'm gonna try to see if this could really do something. Like, don't go in there, half stepping because Pop's already on you. She done already talked to him. She already told him about you. He know what you look like, smell like, walk like. He know everything. So when you come around, you being there is just gonna solidify everything. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. We need to talk. You ain't even got to do nothing wrong. Just how you look. Because Pop been there. He been there and done that.
Exactly. And that's why I sit on here and I'm like, yo, I can tell y'all some stuff about some men, bro. It's not because, and I'm the type of woman, I'm a different type of woman. You
Right.
feel me? I learn from y'all.
Yeah.
That's why I have had a lot of men say, you remind me so much of myself.
Mm-hmm.
I learn from y'all.
Just like you say, I learned from women. I learned exactly what to stay away from. That being petty, that got to have the last word, that whole, just being overly emotional because of what it makes you look like as a masculine figure. It takes all of that masculinity to go.
Let me ask you this. Do you feel like that only women with fathers could make really good dating decisions? Or how do you feel about the woman who did not have a present father in her life?
I've seen a mixture of both. So I've seen the females that they are resentful of the man, so they wanna every man that I come in encounter with. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make him suffer. I'm
Those
gonna
are
take him through hell.
unhealed women.
Right. And then you've seen the other ones that well, maybe this one, or like you said, just overly forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a mixture of both. So that I'm kind of in the middle now. It depends on you know the female and who she is, and where she comes from, because 9 times out of 10, it also too depends on that mama. Like,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people, like, I know I tell a lot of the guys, I be, look, meet the mama.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
9 times out of 10, the mama tell you who she
Who
is.
she really is. Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
that for men too. I'm gonna meet that mama. I'm gonna
Yeah,
meet that
you got
mama
to.
because
You
she
got
gonna
to.
tell on you.
I done brought women around my mama. And what you want him for? I'm like, yo, I want to get therapy for like healing. I can tell you, like, because I've done it after a relationship I had a couple years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it for me, I think men, it does take them a minute to get over
A
that
minute or
last.
more than a minute, John.
Ooh, longer than that shit. Hell, took me a long. Look, I was in denial. Goddamn, I was going through withdrawals. You know what I'm saying? So I had my little therapist. He was a cool white dude, man. He was cool and helped me look at a lot of things and put a lot of stuff into perspective. Um, Understood, I had my faults. I did what I did, and what I'm saying, overall, I was my own worst critic, and I had to kind of get out of that. I'm not a bad person just because you make a mistake or whatever. Everybody fuck up.
Right.
It's just, what are you gonna do to rebound and make yourself better?
To learn from it.
We gotta learn from your mistakes, man.
So I would say this before we bring it to a close.
Mm-hmm.
What advice can you give women
Mm-hmm.
on how they can best understand men?
Put yourself in somebody else's shoes, for whatever situation, with the type of emotions and feelings y'all guys run off of, that's what makes you tick.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta, take that in consideration. Just like you want us to listen and learn, which we still be a little dumbfounded on a lot of stuff. Bear with us. We trying. But give us a little credit for trying. If we don't know, that's another, bridge you gotta cross. But if he trying, give him that. Give us a little credit for the little good stuff that we do. Respect us, and just overall have a better attitude about stuff, man. Like, if you can walk in the mirror each and every day, you can take them pictures for the gram, and you can love yourself and post yourself, and your friends posting you, and keep that feeling going. Just like we say, hate is easily taught, is easily, contagious, easily spread. Let's spread some love too. Throw some love in there, like me as a masculine man, I'm catching myself telling men, like, look, man, love, man, like, because we don't get that, right? Y'all start spreading that, I guarantee you everything else will fall into place.
Okay. I appreciate your perspective on that. You got any questions?
Mm-mm.
Click the link in the bio. Follow us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram. If you're not already following us on TikTok, go ahead and do that. So until next time.